It's really cool watching so many different little Easter eggs.
Yeah, more to come.
Honestly, not like as a call out or a challenge to Dexter fans, but I think there's ones that you guys won't even notice. You have to like really be like on your A game looking for some of these.
Attention. All right, that is a challenge.
Yeah.
So leave your comments right here. Good day, my delightfully deranged Dexter diehards. Welcome to another episode of Final Cut, your go-to destination for all things Dexter and the official after show for Dexter Original Series. I'm your host, Jamie Chung, ready to peel back the layers on every dark and thrilling moment from this week's episode. Today, we're joined by the amazing Molly Brown. Ow, ow! And it's so nice to finally meet you.
It's so great to meet you
I know,
too.
what an iconic role. Okay, I have to start by saying and complimenting you because you did such an amazing job portraying young Deb. When you got the role, were you a fan of the show? You watched some episodes?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you prepare for the role?
What's so crazy, I was in the middle of a Dexter rewatch.
Nice.
I literally had just decided, I was like, I'm just gonna start from the beginning. It's such a good show. And then I got the email that I had an audition for it, and I was like, this is fate, it's kismet.
What were some of the mannerisms that you definitely want to include in this younger version of Deborah?
Jennifer has a really solid way of using all of those swear words. And you really feel them.
Don't you fucking say a word, Masuka. Motherfucker.
Hey, fuck puddle, what are you doing?
Fucking A.
There's that mouth again.
And it's funny because like in theater school, they say like not to really emphasize the swear word sometimes.
But that's the opposite with your
It's the
character.
opposite.
Yeah.
Like, and it's also like, I want to do that anyway.
Speaking of Jennifer Carpenter, when you did get the role, did you hit her up? Did she give you the blessing?
I got a blessing. The casting director sent along a very supportive note from her.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And we have the note here. Can we read it, please? No, I'm joking. Deb is one of my favorite characters. You know, even watching the original show, she's such a strong female lead. And also, it's so fun to see her origin story and for you to bring that to life. What was the most exciting thing about playing this character?
This is maybe silly and not the answer you want, but the volleyball of it all.
Yeah! Honey, I'm a volleyball girl.
Yeah.
So those scenes, I was like, yes. Did you play? Oh, no.
I'm
Okay.
5'3", so.
It's okay, you can be DS, defense
Yeah.
specialist.
Right?
Yeah.
Digs.
A setter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. In this version, Deb does spike. It's actually, she does everything in the script. And that was crazy. There was like a crash course of working with a sports coordinator. And I had an amazing stunt double, which was, thank God.
She's a baller.
She plays
Yeah.
for UCLA. She's actually like very, very good at volleyball. And luckily, I think makes me look competent.
You look like you played. I believed it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. What do you think the biggest challenge was taking this role on? And this is a question that kind of relates to all of the actors on this show because you have so much material to work with.
It's funny because when I knew that this was happening, immediately my first thought was, I don't envy the guy who has to play Dexter. Because that, like, I'm a fan of the show. I'm a fan of Michael C. Hall, like, and he does such a brilliant job. And it was like, wow, that's gonna be so tough. And I didn't think twice about what it would be for me until I got to set and was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that I was blessed with. One, fantastic writing. Like the spirit of Deb is still there because all the fucks are still there.
Yeah.
All the swears, all the angst is still there.
Fuck does that mean?
Deb, language, come on.
Oh, and quit fucking smoking. Excuse my French.
Your French is excellent.
But also what's nice is like, Molly, am a completely different person than who I was in high school. And no one is the same person.
Exactly.
I looked different, I behaved different, I hung out with different people. So like, for me, that was very freeing, is like, actually, I know where she goes, which made it really nice because I had a roadmap, but she can start from a different place than you expect.
Yeah.
I think that it makes a lot of sense, and that's just growth.
Deb, when you see her at Miami Metro, she doesn't do drugs. But this version of Deb, like she's living out her like high school, she's experimenting in high school.
Yeah.
Right? She's really experimenting. She's making pot brownies.
Right.
She brings fake cocaine to the party, you know?
Maybe there's something about it that's like parents expect you to behave a certain way when you're growing up, and maybe fans expect Deborah to behave a certain way when she's 17, but
No, she's a wild thing.
sorry, Mom and Dad.
She's a wild
We're
thing.
breaking the rules.
But she's the one that's kind of living this very all-American like teenage life, making mistakes, learning from her mistakes. And what's really sad is that she's on her own.
Oh, don't mind me. Didn't mean to interrupt whatever super secret police shit you two have going on.
Deb, we were just...
No, I get it. I'm not part of Little Boys Club. That's fine.
Her origin story is so sweet because she is the heart of the show.
Thank
you know
you.
what I mean? No, really, and she's
Yeah.
like she's the glue that tries to keep the family together.
Right.
Or like just have some normalcy. It's really fun to see Deb really making the effort to keep this family together. It's actually really heartbreaking.
Really showing you the isolation that's happened to Deb since Doris died is part of what changes who she is.
Yeah.
I know I should include you more.
Whatever. I'm used to it.
Come on, that's not fair.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure the most time that we've spent just the three of us was when you were in the hospital. And now every day is bring your son to work day.
Okay, before we get into the episode, we like to enjoy this little game called Marry Fucking Kill. Inspired by my character Molly Park's true crime podcast. Let's break down our favorite killers from the Dexter franchise. I'm gonna give you a little list of all the serial killers.
Ooh,
Excuse me.
I get one of these?
Yes, you do.
Hey.
Okay, so Mary, which would you pick to help cover up a crime?
To cover up? Wow, okay, I just did a quick look, but I think the ice truck killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brian Moser.
I think that's a great. Yes.
I think he only got caught because he wanted to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fucking. Who do you think was the most suave killer?
Ooh, well, that would be so crazy to say Trinity. Well, I can't pick Brian for everything.
No, you can't. Trinity was messy.
No, he really was.
He's dirty.
Not suave, but probably the best cover.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then kill. Who had the most shocking kills?
Well, I think the reveal of the Doomsday Killer is the most shocking. When you find out it's all in his mind the entire time and he hasn't been talking to that professor, I think that one was the most shocking reveal.
That's a good one. Let's get into the episode, shall we? Episode 5, entitled F is for Fucked Up. A Deb-inspired title, no doubt. We left on a major cliffhanger last episode as Dexter is chasing him. Mad Dog gets run over by a car, giving Dexter only 15 minutes to clean up the kill room.
I was shocked.
Obviously, Harry is not too happy about how things kind of went down with Mad Dog. He is reprimanding Dexter.
No one saw me, and Mad Dog's dead.
What if he hadn't died? He could have ID'd you.
But he did die. This doesn't have to be a big deal.
It is a big fucking deal. Do you understand?
This nuanced theme of raising a serial killer your child. Why do you think the themes work so well?
It's honestly like about like what Dexter says at the very end of the episode when he's visiting Doris's grave.
Deb asked me what I miss most about you. I miss someone looking at me and seeing a chance at goodness. Even if it wasn't there.
He's talking more to Doris about how she saw someone who wasn't good and saw hope for him. But it's that Harry is raising Dexter to channel something for good. And I think that that's something that is, if you're not taking everything so literally, like we all have things about us that maybe are not our favorite characteristics, and we can channel those into better things.
It's like rewiring your brain, like cognitive behavior therapy, right? It's like you know it exists, and like how do you change your brain from reacting a certain way but doing it for good? And I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And speaking of Doris's grave, Molly, that performance.
Oh, thank
It was
you.
just like so crushing.
I miss you so much. I feel lost. I'm such an outsider with Dad and Dex. They don't even see me.
But also like leading up to that, the disappointment,
Yeah.
you know, getting the family back together and also having such a sweet moment with your brother before that. And then to have to go to the grave alone. Literally everything that we're seeing, the disappointment, the loneliness, and how you're able to just say that out loud for the first time to your dead mother.
One of the things that I really like about Deb and Dexter's arc in Original Sin is that when you meet Dexter in the original series, he knows how to be a good brother. He's learned, he's manufactured what it is to be a sibling for someone. And here he's messing up constantly. And so you watch Deb just want something so badly, just want normal connection.
How come we never hang like this? For once, it actually feels like we're brother and sister.
And it's tough because she thinks that she's got it. She thinks that finally she's got from these two men in her life what she wants so badly. And then you just watch her be disappointed again. And there's something similar in the pilot when Dexter says that he's gonna go to the game.
Dad would want you to play.
Dad's not here.
Well, I am. I'll go to your game. Just save me an aisle seat.
Wait, you actually want to come to my volleyball game?
We're supposed to support each other, right?
And he doesn't show up.
And
that was
yeah,
crushing.
and she thinks, you know, she has that line when she comes back in, I didn't think you'd show up anyway, but she did. She really thought he was gonna come, and it's just time after time of watching someone just like not know how to support you. And I think that that's one of the most interesting things about the evolution of Deb and Dex in this season.
Yeah. Being disappointed by your brother and then Gio had to take you
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to get me.
to the grave, but then also we see him dropping her off at high school.
The coolest thing about that high school is that it really was Clyde Phillips's high school.
Fun fact.
Clyde Phillips went to that high school. He graduated from that high school.
Van Nuys.
Van Nuys High School. Shout out whatever their mascot is. And it was just, I mean, it's so cool. He told me the first day that we were there, and I was like, you're joking. Filming high school scenes is...
Isn't it strange? As like a 20-something-year-old woman,
Yeah,
I had to do that when I was in my 20s, and I was like, I'm playing a 15-year-old. This is weird.
It's funny because Michael Lehman, our wonderful director, he said this to me a couple of times, and I know that he means it as a compliment. He says, you're the best at playing a teenager. Like, no one is as good as you at playing a teenager. And I'm like, that's so nice. That makes me feel so weird. Like, do you guys think that I'm a grown-up?
Yeah.
Or, like, you guys see me as an adult, or what's going on? High school for me was a very strange time, and I didn't skip class like Deb does sometimes, but I did graduate early, so I could just...
Get out of there. Did you feel like you were kind of, you weren't fitting in? Because I feel like Deb had a really tough time fitting in, but when she got in...
Yeah. It's a really hard time to be vulnerable. A lot of people band together around a common enemy, and if you are that enemy of the time,
You're gonna get ripped apart,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's tough, and it's tough to find your people necessarily. So yeah, I didn't love high school either.
But you stayed in the state to go to college.
Yes,
Okay.
I went to the University of Iowa. Great time. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Immediately knew when he was taking a bite of that brownie and going in for seconds and thirds. That kid can eat.
Yeah.
Patty, you can eat, hun. How fun was it to shoot the pot scenes?
It was the scene that honestly the two of us were the most nervous for.
What if I did kill someone?
You are so high. Fake laughing it's truly like, it scares me so much because like I never think it sounds right.
No.
I hate it.
I have the same fear. And in fact, I tested for a really big film and you had to laugh, and the one note I got was, can you do a different laugh?
Yeah, and Patty and I, we were looking at this scene, and it was like, it's just all laughing and silly and
Oh, it
so...
really worked though.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, I feel like a lot better doing this with you because
Yeah.
Patty makes me laugh
Yeah.
so
Great.
much. I felt so lucky that I knew he was gonna be a good actor,
Yeah.
but like he's a cool guy to be around too, which is awesome.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
You guys really embodied the characters.
I think so.
You know? So in this episode, we see that he's gonna try out a horse tranquilizer, which is genius, which is what he uses, for the rest of the series. Was it kind of cool to see that revelation?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's something that it's really cool watching so many different little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Even seeing in the pilot episode, right after she's given birth to Dexter, there's a smear of blood.
Yeah.
Like
saw that.
stuff like that I think is such cool little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And there's
More to come.
honestly not like as a call out or a challenge to Dexter fans, but I think there's ones that you guys won't even notice. You have to like really be like on your A game looking for some of
Paying
these.
attention. All right. Okay, before we get to the rest of the episode, let's play another little game.
All right.
And it's called Blood Slide Roulette. Right here, I've got a box of blood slides, and each one's got a random question. Some fun, some serious, and some a little twisted. All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much. Number 42.
All right.
What's the weirdest job you've ever had?
Oh, I worked as an organizer in people's homes.
Oh, that's great. That's not
Yeah.
weird. Ooh,
Well,
it's weird to see what you see.
It was weird. I
going
mean,
through people's stuff.
it was like a relocation. So we were unpacking their moving boxes, and you're just deciding for other people where the
Where
stuff
things are gonna
should go
go.
in their home. It's a service that I would truly hate.
Yeah.
I was like, actually, I don't want you to pick where my shoes go.
Yeah. Well, I'm also so embarrassed. I have so much, I'm like a borderline hoarder. So
Yeah.
I'm like, don't look in my closet.
It's also really funny because once we finished the job, I remember the mother-in-law of the person was like, "Thank you so much. I mean, could you imagine if we had to do this on our own?" And I was like, "Yeah, everybody else does." Like, absolutely, I can.
That's a fun job.
I'll pick number 38.
Okay, great. Okay, 38. If you were undercover, what would be your alias?
Honestly, that's the thing is like Molly Brown to me feels like an alias.
It really does.
It doesn't sound like a real person's name
No, it
to
doesn't.
me.
It's cool though.
It's partly because it is someone else's name, the unsinkable Molly Brown.
yeah.
I was obsessed with the name Chloe growing up.
Ooh.
I really wanted my name to be Chloe.
Do you still like that now?
I think so.
Okay. Chloe what?
Chloe what? I don't know. This is so unoriginal, but like, I guess I'd have to do another color. Like Chloe green.
Okay. Chloe White?
Chloe
Chloe
white.
black?
Chloe black.
Chloe, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Great.
Okay. Now I know what to look
Yeah.
under
look
your
for
name
me.
for at the hotel. Is there a Chloe White here? Back to the episode. Why in the hell would Dexter use the horse tranquilizer on his father and then put him on the kill table?
You gotta show him you know what you're doing.
That is so just fucked up.
Yeah.
And so strange and crazy.
Dex, this isn't funny. Where are my fucking clothes?
Yeah, I told you the wrap stick's better to bare skin.
Fuck. What about Deb? She's gonna be home any second.
No, she won't. I'm thinking through all the possibilities now. Like you said. Guess you didn't read her note.
I think it's big though because Harry's like sure that Dexter doesn't know what he's doing.
got trust
now.
issues,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And it's Dexter's way of showing, actually I do. And it's funny because the moments that I've liked with Patty the most filming this season, and we already did one, it's where he confronts me about giving the earrings to Sophia.
You stole my earrings.
What are you gonna do with him anyway? It's not like you have a girlfriend.
I liked filming that so much because Deb's not scared of Dexter.
Yeah.
Deb actually is like, okay, whatever, like you're a dork, I'm not frightened of you. But it's interesting to see the difference between Deb and Harry and how they react to Dexter being ominous.
Yeah.
Because Harry is a little scared, you can tell when he's
he
on
was
that kill table.
terrified. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. If I
would
woke
be.
up on a table, and this happened with my son and I, when your kids are toddlers, they're really unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's either they're gonna hug you, kiss you, or like slap you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're
So
like
it's a little bit of
cats.
that. You're like, what is he gonna do?
Yeah.
He did have a moment of like pure terror.
Yeah, he takes the knife out and it's like,
or don't kill me.
do they just change how Harry dies?
What a wild scene.
Yeah.
But also like that's how he fully gains the trust and he fully takes the power. You know, like I'm gonna do this. This is my destiny.
Yeah,
You
and
can't
then
control me anymore.
And he convinces
I'm not a
him
child.
that he should kill Levi and Harry wants it because
Of course.
it's his fault Levi's off.
What can we expect from the rest of the season? Can you give us any kind of hints or spoilers or little teases?
You can expect more Deb rebellion
Yes.
and consequences
Ooh.
of Deb rebellion.
Consequences from who?
I think the real consequences are Deb's peers. And I think that's because, like, whose opinion do you really care most about
At that age?
17? Not your
friends.
dad's.
True. Okay, are there any fun behind the scenes stories that you can share with us?
My favorite behind the scenes moment is for a scene that we filmed that is in the next episode, episode 6, but we kind of hint at it. I ask Dexter if he'll go on a double date with me.
I know, I saw that.
And so there's
Does that sound fun in real life? I don't want to go on a double date with my sister.
I can't even imagine.
Nah.
No, I can't possibly imagine doing it. And it's funny because they do it in season 1.
Oh shoot, you're right.
And in season 1, Deb's like, no. And maybe it's because of how this one goes. But
Interesting.
my favorite, I'm going to look through Dexter's closet to find something for him to wear. And he darts into the room to follow me. And Patty, on that day, he was wearing socks and
Fell.
he slipped.
Oh my
and
gosh.
he fell. And his knee slammed into his like set door. And I
Laughed.
so hard. No, I laughed so hard. And I'm sitting there, because the scene was over after
Yeah.
that. And like, I was just waiting for him to come in and I was gonna be like, surprise, motherfucker, like on the other side.
Surprise, motherfucker.
But then he falls and it suddenly becomes so serious. Set medic comes on and she's like, were you doing a stunt?
No.
It's like, no, he was
socks.
walking into a room. He just,
Oh, I'm glad he's okay.
he's fine.
Thank you so much for tuning into Dexter Final Cut. And a huge thank you to our wonderful guest, Molly Brown.
Thank you so much for having me.
Such an honor interviewing you and pleasure chatting with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the Dexter YouTube channel, drop a comment, and jump into the Dexter community. We love hearing all of your thoughts, questions, and theories. Stream new episodes of Dexter Original Sin next Friday only on Paramount Plus with Showtime, and then swing by the Dexter YouTube channel the day after for our official breakdown. I'm Jamie Chung, and until then, tread lightly. And now, a sneak peek of next week's episode.
So, any fun plans for the night?
You're gonna be meeting Gio for the first time, so don't, under any circumstances, be yourself.
Keep an eye on her. Report back on the boyfriend.
What if this victim and the last two we found, what if they're all connected?
2's a coincidence, 3's a pattern.
Let me out of here! I want to go home!
I'm gonna find this guy and make him pay for what he's done.
Dexter Original Sin. New series now streaming on the Paramount Plus with Showtime plan.